Hello, and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be riding the Honda Navi, and I'll be going around the Pope Lick Train Trestle, the home of the infamous Pope Lick Goat Man. That's a popular urban legend. I'm starting back here at Pope Lick Park. I didn't record the ride down here, going down Taylorsville Road, because it was super windy. So I figured that would probably make it almost impossible to get audio, even if I have the mic inside my helmet. Going around these speed bumps. And two, the road is currently in the middle of road construction, so there are a lot of uneven lanes. It's where they've stripped the top layer of pavement off, so it's all just like the grooved, uneven area underneath, which on a motorcycle or a scooter or anything, that can be kind of dangerous because the road's grooved, so sometimes it'll kind of pull you one way or the other. So it's having to go pretty slow. Don't really look forward to going back, but is what it is. So I will be going under the Pope Lick Train Trestle, and then I'll follow some of these back roads through and go around other parts of the parklands, because there's a series of parks that are all connected called the parklands, because you have Pope Lick Park, and then it'll connect to Beckley Creek Park, and then if you keep going you can connect to Turkey Run Park. So if you're looking for a place to take, your road bike and go for a nice ride through some cool looking locations, that's a place to go. No cars or bikes coming. Yeah, because it's a path that doesn't require you to go on the main road. So you can go through these kind of park areas without having to ride on main roads. Although there are people, and they go in like their groups of 20 cyclists riding 2 deep, 10 or 2 wide, about 10 deep. They do still ride on the road, because I guess if you're going for your best times, you can pull up a little further. If you're going to get just the best times you can do, that may not be as accommodating of that. But if you're just wanting to go get some outdoor exercise, it's definitely a place you can go. And this road, the speed limit through here is 55, but really I think that's kind of too fast. Luckily for the pedestrian and bike path, it has a path that goes under the road here. So coming up straight ahead is the Pope Lick Train Trestle. The trees still have foliage, so it's not as bare and open as it would be in the fall or the winter. But yeah, it's a train trestle, and supposedly that's the home of the Pope Lick Goat Man, which is just an urban legend that there's a half man, half goat. That's the result of a farmer who sacrificed goats to Satan or something, getting cursed and becoming a half man, half goat. That it was a creature that escaped from a passing by circus, so a circus freak, or that it's a cryptid, so just kind of a not confirmed but potential unidentified species, similar to a Bigfoot or something. Do with that what you may. I'm not sure which of those explanations is the most likely, beyond people just having some fun with campfire stories that grew over the years. But And it is pretty windy, so hopefully there's not too much wind noise. But it is October officially now, so I figured it'd be just a good place to go. It's October 2nd. The trees haven't really started to have the leaves change colors yet. But it is nice weather. I'm using the Insta360 One RS 1-inch 360 edition. So the 1-inch sensor 360 camera. Because I wanted to use a 360 camera, because that way I can get multiple angles out of one camera without having to take multiple cameras. Now, it, you know, adds a little bit of editing time, but... And two, hopefully the 1-inch camera, since the sensors are bigger, it'll do better, you know, in areas like right now where there's shade covering the road. Pulling up to English Station Road. Because, you know, back roads like this, they're fun to ride through on the Navi or a, you know, kind of smaller mini moto that, you know, isn't super fast, super high top speed. The downside, though, is just getting to places like this. Because getting here, I went straight up Taylorsville Road, and the speed limit goes from 35 to 45 to 55. So 35, yeah, that's no problem. 45, I can do that and a little bit more and keep up with traffic, and it'll be fine. Especially if there's 2 lanes of traffic. 55, this can't do 55. So, you know, you just gotta hope there's more than 1 lane of traffic, so that if anybody gets too impatient, they can pass you. You know, I was talking about part of the road on Taylorsville Road was being repaved, so it was uneven pavement. I couldn't really go that much faster than about 30, 35, you know, to be safe, because there are grooves in the road that kind of steer you one direction or the other. I did have somebody that passed me going pretty fast and got back over right in front of me and threw a bunch of rocks and crap up on me. I mean, luckily I'm wearing, you know, full face helmet and protective gear. I've got this jacket thing on that has Kevlar padding in the elbows and the back in case you were to fall off. And it has big leather patch or portions that are leather. So I'm going to come out by the Beckley Creek Park. Guess we'll see. So that road is closed. Now I've done a video before. I went through this area, you know, at dusk and nighttime on an electric scooter. On some of the videos where I go to places that are the subject of urban legends. You know, this is just going for fun, because big, wide open park area is definitely, you know, fun to ride through. The one thing I will say is the speed limit, you know, you can see the sign, hopefully, it's 25 miles per hour. People really don't like to do the speed limit and just kind of take in the scenery and cruise. on the, you know, these Honda Navis or other smaller bikes, you know, they're not speed demons. You don't want to be stuck on a road with a speed limit of 55 miles per hour. And if it's a windy day with the wind coming at you, 50 is tough. Especially if there's uphill sections. I think this bike thrives on roads with speed limits of 35 miles per hour. It's kind of windy going this direction. So this is getting close to the Beckley Creek soccer fields. They just have a bunch of, you know, as it sounds like, soccer fields. Which you can see over to the left. So I'm sure there are a lot of youth leagues that play here, or, you know, things for kids. There's also, you know, paths that you can walk on through there that go to, there's like a fountain and different things to see. You can't really, I guess you can't, if you have a mountain bike you can ride through, but there's a lot of gravel. So there's parts of it that would, for the most part, be impassable on road bikes. And this goes up to another portion of the park, of the parklands. This is, like, again, it's a very nice park. If you want to go for a walk or a run or a jog or ride your bike. I guess what I'll do is I'll just loop this around and then head back to the direction I came. Yeah, because the right goes to, you know, further paths. Or you know what, actually I'll go that way. Because I know what it looks like from the path, I'm not sure what it looks like from the road.
De detener o desviar dicho asteroide. Así que
Alright. This goes the Louisville Loop North. I know that if you're on foot or if you're on the path, you can go along the river through here and see some pretty cool sights. I don't think the road will give you that option. Yeah. So again, you know, if you have a bike that's capable of high speed, then this is a fun place to go. If you have something like the Navi or a moped or a scooter or something, these roads are fun to ride on and you get to see interesting sights. Just the downside is that you have to go on roads to get here that require a little bit higher rate of speed because, you know, obviously you can't take the expressway with something like this. So I was just taking the surface street roads, and I didn't, you know, I don't go through, you know, you pass through Jeffersontown. I don't usually go that far down Taylorsville Road, so I didn't remember that there was a section that hits 55 miles per hour. It is windy. Nice creek. Walking path that has stairs. It looks like it's gravel. There's a lot of overlooks and trails. It is very nice scenery though. Alright, yeah, so this is the top of the hill for this section. And I'm not going to go... At this point I'm going to turn around and go back the other way. Yeah, some silos and garden type area. So this is definitely a cool area to ride through. Because the actual, like, once you get out here, the speed limits are accommodating of a not high-speed bike. And you get to see cool scenery. Had to get a bug off my visor goggle thing. And this area has ample opportunities to go kayaking, in addition to walking, hiking, running, cycling. Like I said, I know before I brought the electric scooter out, like the electric kick scooter, and looking up the rules around those, they are to be treated the same as bicycles as long as they have a top speed of 20 miles per hour or less, weigh less than 100 pounds. So the one I have definitely hits those numbers. It has a top speed of 18.6. And I haven't actually weighed it. I forget. It weighs between like 28, 38 pounds, somewhere around there. So not, you know, way under 100. Now, I probably wouldn't bring it up here during a peak busy time of the day. Because I know people get frustrated enough if you're on a normal bicycle. And other cyclists get frustrated too if you're on a bicycle and you're not going fast enough for them. Because I brought my one wheel up here before. But I came up early in the morning before there were many people here. Because I didn't really want to have to go through a busy time of day with a bunch of people that you have to maneuver around. And two, as I go back to the starting point, the Pope Lick Train Trestle, around that area they have some type of Halloween haunted house type events there. I don't know if you go to their website, you can get all the details on that. I don't off the top of my head remember. I know they have like a haunted trail or something. I know sometimes they do like movie screenings and what have you. Never gone to one, but I think it would be fun. Like I said, I came up to the park before at nighttime or dusk at nighttime and rode an electric scooter up to the train bridge and back. Nothing too scary. It's just dark. Not really anything to be afraid of in the dark. Just, you know, there's some sections on the trail through the woods where it being dark could make it slightly treacherous. Because you have to go down the hill and go over grates and what have you, so in areas where it's relatively dark could be dangerous. And over to the right, there's a fountain that you can access walking on the walking trails that go through here. I'm not going to go through all those, but yeah, this is a really nice park area that you can come out to. You know, like I said, I don't remember all the details on the haunted house stuff, but as far as I'm aware, there's not camping or anything out here. You know, there's trails you can run on and all that kind of stuff, and you can go kayaking. There's a number of access points to get your kayak in. I don't think you can camp. If you're wanting to investigate the Goat Man, there's really, I mean, you can ride under the train bridge itself, or you can walk under it on the walking path. You can kind of look around down there. But if you actually want to get on the train trestle, train bridge itself, that's where there actually have been people, unfortunately, that died, or people fell to their death from the train trestle, just because it's, you know, elevated quite a bit over the ground, you know, high enough that you would suffer severe injuries or death if you fell. And if you get out on it, and the train starts coming, it's going to be going at a high rate of speed. You're not going to be able to get from, you know, you're not going to be able to cross a huge swath of distance on the train bridge to get to safety unless you're almost at the very, very end of it. So, and I don't know how you look up what the times the trains run are, but you know, it is active 24 hours a day, every single day. And two, if you get, you know, if you're up, you know, even if nothing happens, you can still get arrested for trespassing, and they actively would enforce that because people have fallen to their death. So, not something I'd recommend. I would recommend you come to the park and go for a walk, or you know, something like that if you want to walk around the area, but don't try to climb on the bridge itself. And then, like I said before, I came here at nighttime. I don't know that I would plan on really coming up here and making like a nighttime tour. I mean, unless you're starting really close to the train bridge, because they do close parts of the park or the parking lots or some, you know, different areas of it at nighttime. So I don't know that I would, you know, without doing your research, what you would not want to do, because Pope Lick Park, the area where I started this video at, you know, when I came up here at nighttime to film that video before, the parking lot to get to that part of the park was closed. I don't know what their procedures are, if there's a car in the parking lot, if they just go ahead and close, or if they wait. But, you know, I'd hate to park over there, go out and be exploring, and then get back to my car, then, you know, you're locked in, you can't get out till the next day. So there's that to take into consideration too. I parked at the, when I did the nighttime ride on the e-scooter, I started at Beckley Creek, the Beckley Creek Park soccer fields. So one of the areas I passed by, because it's all just an open lot, there's no way they could close it. So I parked there, because I knew that there was no way to close it and it had access to a public road. And since I was on the electric scooter, if they did happen to close a gate at any part of the path, I could just pick it up, set it over, hop it. But if you're on a bike that's heavier, or if you're not as mobile, then that wouldn't be an option. So, oh, it's so windy again. The Navi now has 886 miles on it. So it's getting closer to 900. And part of the main chunk of miles that I put on this is when I go on these longer rides like this, you know, the area I'm going to, I might only really be riding around a handful of miles, you know. Riding 10 miles or so, you know, the actual, once I get to the area I want to explore, it's just getting to them, having to go, you know, miles out of the way to get there. So then, you know, it's it'll end up being like a, you know, 40-mile round trip, because the place I was going to was, you know, 10 or 15 miles out of the way. So once I go back under the train bridge, then I'll wrap the video up. I figure you probably want to see it both directions. And if you've never been out to this area before and you're interested, you know, it's October now, so this will give you a little taste of what all is around here and what it all looks like. And you know, if you're interested in the Honda Navi or one of their smaller bikes, think, you know, the riding experience is pretty similar across like this, and the monkey, and the trail. Roads like this, fun. Some of the 55-mile-per-hour roads you have to take to get here, not so fun. Quite stressful, in fact. And people coming to these curves, they often take up their lane and half of the next lane. So here's the train trestle from the other direction. Can look quite imposing as you come through the trees. Yeah, so I'm going to cross over here to this gas station and wrap the video up. One thing I've learned, you know, riding e-bikes and stuff like this Navi, a lot of stop signs stop a little bit short of where you really need to be to have good visibility. And part of that's just because, you know, you don't have the same level of acceleration power you do in a lot of cars, so you need to be closer to the road when you do make a decision to commit. Yeah, I guess I'll pull over here in this parking lot and wrap up. Yeah, so I was taking the Honda Navi by the Pope Lick Train Trestle, taking it up to Beckley Creek Park, and then coming back through, so exploring, you know, a bit of the different parklands area. Riding around this Navi on a nice, beautiful day. On October Sunday, when the temperature isn't too hot, too cold. It's good for riding. But yeah, so I was riding this Honda Navi around the parklands and the Pope Lick Park and all that. But yeah, that'll wrap till next time. Later.